Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios, once again with another episode of One Piece characters in Dungeons & Dragons. This week we're going to be going over the navigator of the Straw Hat Pirates, Nami. And for those of you who are, just clicking on this video, thanks for joining in. For those of you who are continuing watching this series, you may have noticed that we have new thumbnails. A friend of mine noticed my thumbnail, said, hey, those could use improvement, and gave me a template to use for this and future One Piece and Dungeons & Dragons. I'm hoping that this will reflect on the rest of my thumbnails as I try to improve this channel little by little. But for those of you who are, picking up from earlier before I, updated the thumbnails, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for clicking on those thumbnails, and I hope these future ones will boost things. So if you're watching this, my friend who made these videos, I don't remember if you said it was okay to use your name, but you know who you are. I appreciate it. Anyways, let's get into the important thing here. Nami is the navigator of the Straw Hat Pirates, and I feel that when I think of Nami, there are 4 things that come to mind. Her stealthiness, her navigational skills, her ability to control the weather, and her personality, just to keep this channel within the YouTube censorings. Because of these things, I've decided to have a half-elf be our race choice for Nami. While the dark vision isn't really something that applies here, I feel that the rest of the things that the half-elf provides are worthy of being what represents Nami best racially. A good example would be in the ability scores. You get a +2 to Charisma, which for obvious reasons on Nami, and we get 2 ability score improvements of our choice, an extra 1 point. We're going to be going with Dexterity and Intelligence for these. Dexterity because Nami has a very limber style of fighting, and Intelligence because Oda himself, the author of One Piece, said that Nami was the 3rd smartest person in the East Blue. We also get 3 languages: Elven, Common, and 1 extra language of our choice. So for this, I just recommend whatever language is going to fit your DM's world, whatever setting they're going to be in, because in One Piece, everyone speaks the same language, so it's not really important to be bilingual. We also get Fey Ancestry, which prevents us from being put to sleep and grants us the ability to resist being charmed. A good example of the charm resistance is, I would say, during the Water 7 arc, when that one bank teller was going to trick Usopp and Luffy into greatly diminishing the amount of what that gold was worth. Nami saw right through his charming appeal towards them and basically threatened his life if he did not give them their money. As for the sleeping, this one's a little bit disproven with the Punk Hazard arc, and Nami, falls to the sleeping gas just like everyone else. While that's technically not magic, it's close enough, in my opinion, to sort of disprove, but like I said, we're trying to stay within the rules, so no custom races or abilities here. Finally, for half-elf, we get 2 extra skills of our choice. For this, we're going to be choosing Persuasion and Medicine. The reason for that is, up until Chopper joined the Straw Hat crew, Nami was the member with the most medical knowledge. When you think about it, it's a miracle the crew made it as far as they did before meeting their magical talking reindeer doctor. As for Persuasion, Nami's just a persuasive person, whether she's tricking someone by using double speech or just flat out blackmailing someone. Nami is a persuasive person, which I think this reflects well. For our stats, we'll be going with the standard array, as usual, placing our 15 into our intelligence, which is Nami's best quality, followed by her charisma, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, then strength, in that order. Nami is a bit of a glass cannon, so her inability to take direct hits should be shown in her stats. Include the stats from the half-elf race, and our stats should look something like this at this moment. As always, you can consult with your DM to get yourself a personalized background if you feel that you have, a better idea than I do, because I'm not the do-all, end-all on One Piece Dungeons & Dragons authority. But I would personally pick the criminal background for Nami. Before she was a member of the Straw Hat Pirates, Nami specialized in stealing from pirates and swindling pirates and tricking pirates. Basically, she was a thief. She was a criminal. She only stole from criminals, but as the old saying goes, you should never steal from a thief. The criminal background grants us bonuses to our deception and our stealth abilities, which are obviously necessary for being a proper thief like Nami. We also get criminal contact, which basically just gives us someone who will be our inside man, someone who can give information to our criminal in ways that either ignore the law or hide from the law or, just straight out being a criminal. So there's a couple options for this. Personally, I would say Nojiko would be Nami's criminal contact, as that is her one person that Nami could confide in. That was the one person who knew the truth. That was the person who took care of Nami whenever she came home from her little thieving escapades. If you want to go with a non-canon approach, but still pseudo-canon, I would look for Karina from the One Piece film Gold. And I'm not just saying that because I wanted to get the footage for this by watching film Gold again. I really do think that the backstory of Karina was pretty cool, and I'm glad her inclusion in film Gold gave us a bigger connection to the One Piece world and to the backstory of one of our main characters, even if it's not 100% canon. To finish off this preparation before we go into our classes, I actually want to do something that I neglected to do for Luffy and Zoro. I want to give Nami a magic item. So I looked around and I found in Xanathar's Guide to Everything an item called the Pole of Collapsing. It is a 10-foot pole that when you speak the command word goes from 10 feet to 1 foot. And then by speaking you can extend it back out. This is perfect for Nami, not just because when she first starts off she has a little bow staff that connects and, hits enemies, but as of right now in the One Piece story, her sorcery climb attack works exactly the way this thing does, where by squeezing it, not speaking a command word, it expands to whatever length is necessary and then shrinks back down. It's almost a perfect representation, aside from the ability to shoot weather out of it. But, baby steps. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's finally get into our very first level, Rogue. That's right, Nami is a rogue. The rogue begins with 4 skills of choice, the highest of any class. From this list, we'll be picking Sleight of Hand, Perception, Investigation, and Intimidation. Our saving throws will be in Dexterity and Intelligence. Normally, I'd say the starting equipment isn't that important. Pick whatever you want. But I will say that the Burglar's Pack and Thieves' Tools are a must-have, just to stay fitting with the Nami flavor. Finally, at level 1, we get Expertise and Sneak Attack. Our expertise will be in the Stealth and Sleight of Hand, both of which are things that Nami heavily relied on at the start of the series. As for Sneak Attack, she's been known to throw her opponents off, such as during her fight with Miss Doublefinger in Alabasta. Nami's opponents tend to not take her very seriously at the start of their fight, and this tends to bite them in the butt very quickly. We also get Thieves' Cant, but like I said about languages in One Piece, it's not super important, but it is a nice thing to have. At second level, we get the Rogue's Cunning action. Like the aforementioned fight in Alabasta, this allows for disengage, dash, and hide actions to become bonus actions during combat, instead of just being entire actions themselves. At level 3, we're going to start taking the Rogue's true potential and shove it into our Thief archetype. With this, we gain the Fast Hands ability, which is going to allow us to get our sleight of hand as a bonus action, just like our dodge, disengage, and hide actions. This is a good example because even in the middle of combat, Nami still manages to sneak around, such as when fighting Buggy and she managed to tie up all his limbs, or during the Davy Back fight when she stole the ref's cards. Our other ability is called Second Story Work, which reduces the amount of speed that we require for our running jump and our climbing actions. This isn't really like a huge thing Nami's known for, but when she was introduced in the series, she started off on a second story, so I'm gonna take it. At level 4, we get an ability score improvement, which we'll be using to take the Keen Mind feat instead. What this does is increase our intelligence score, allow us to recall anything we've seen or heard in the last month, allow us to always know which way is north, perfect for a navigator, and allows us to always know how many hours before dawn or dusk. This is very helpful and it represents Nami very well. Like I said earlier, Nami is the third smartest person from the East Blue. This is comparing her to Ben Beckman, the right hand of one of the 4 emperors, and Captain Kuro, a captain whose literal title was the man with 1,000 plans. That's quite the people to be compared to intelligence-wise. Level 5 brings us Uncanny Dodge, which just halves the damage from any attack as long as we use our reaction to halve said damage. This is kind of useful if you don't want to get hurt. Like I said, Nami's a bit of a glass cannon. Plus, through her abilities, we have seen Nami dodge point-blank range attacks, such as, like I said, during her fight in Alabasta. After that, we will get our level 6 ability, which is Expertise. We're going to be taking these in Perception and Intimidation. Perception, because Nami has this innate ability to just feel when the weather is off. She just instantly knows when the weather's going to change. Pretty perceptive, in my opinion. The other, for Intimidation, is that despite Nami being the cutest of the Straw Hats, that's right, Chopper, you heard me say it, I believe Nami is also one of the most intimidating members of the Straw Hat crew. Therefore, I think Intimidation should be one of her expertise. At level 7, we get the Rogue's Evasion ability. What this does is, on a Dexterity save, you, instead of getting half damage on a successful save and full damage on a failed, we instead take half damage on a failed save and no damage on a successful one. Nami has redirected lightning using the electric balls found inside of the climb attack, but to have the response time necessary to do that technique requires some pretty quick reflexes, perfect for the evasion ability of the rogue. At level 8, we're going to be changing things up for a moment by putting a single level into Sorcery. To be exact, we're going to go with Storm Sorcery, furthering Nami's connection to weather. At the first level, we're going to be getting Wind Speaker, which, like tapping into Nami's innate touch with nature, will give us the primordial language, which, again, language not important, but Nami's ability to speak with nature, quote-unquote, is kind of similar to how primordial works. The other ability from Sorcery level 1 will be Tempestuous Magic, which lets us jump 10 feet away after casting a spell, which I guess could be similar to the recoil Nami takes when she uses Tornado Tempo. And of course, what is a Sorcerer without their spells? For the first level of Sorcerer, we get 4 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For the cantrips, I recommend Firebolt, which is like Heat Ball, Frostbite, Cool Ball, Dancing Lights, which is like Nami's Thunderballs, and Shocking Grasp, which is like Nami's Swing Arm technique, the one she used against Absalom during the Thriller Bark arc. We also get our 2 first level 1 spells, which I am choosing Witch Bolt, like the lightning redirection I mentioned earlier, and Fog Cloud, furthering Nami's connection to weather. Now, the reason I jumped into Sorcerer for a moment was so that with our 8th level in Rogue, 9th level overall, we can take the feat Spell Sniper, which requires us to have the prerequisite of being able to cast at least 1 spell before we do so. With this feature, our ranged spell attacks will double in range and ignore half and 3/4 cover. We also get one ranged cantrip, which I will be choosing Eldritch Blast. 1, because it's not a part of the rogue or sorcerer trees. 2, because it is yet another lightning-like technique that we can have in our repertoire. So, now that we're continuing down the rogue path again, at level 10 we are going to get the Supreme Sneak ability, which, for those of you paying attention to the current manga, Nami is currently training under Shinobu to become a ninja herself. I look very much forward to seeing all the ninjutsu techniques Nami will learn by the end of Wano. Level 11 is kind of boring. It's just another ability score improvement, and for this one we're going to be taking ability score improvements in Dexterity and Intelligence again. At level 12, we get the Rogue's Reliable Talent. What this one does is when you roll a die for something you are proficient in, your d20 die cannot roll lower than 10. Anything 9 and under is just automatically considered a 10. Personally, I think this is just an ability anyone should take. I don't know why it's exclusive to the Rogue. Maybe it's because the Rogue gets so many techniques. But it just makes sense. You know, you're already a professional at whatever it is you are proficient in. So why should you roll lower than a 10? So honestly, that one's just there because it's a rogue ability and it's just really, really good. Anyways, at level 13, we're going to be getting yet another ability score improvement. These we'll be putting into our charisma stat. At level 14, we're going to get the Thieves ability, Use Magical Items, which allows us to ignore any prerequisite required for using a magic item. While Nami isn't exactly at the tech level that Usopp and Frankie are, she has been known to use a wide variety of technology throughout the course of the series, even stating herself that it's not sorcery, it's science. Level 15 grants us Blind Sense. The best example I have for this ability is when Nami noticed that Absalom was peeping on her during her bath in the Thriller Bark arc. At level 16, we get the Slippery Mind ability. Like I said earlier about Nami's intelligence, her wisdom is not something to blow wind at either. No pun intended. Because of this, we're going to get this extra proficiency in our wisdom saving throws, which means Nami will have the ability to protect herself in Dexterity, Intelligence, and Wisdom saving throws. Triple play. Our 17th level will be our last level in Rogue, and we'll be taking the Prodigy feat from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. In this feat, we'll get one skill, one tool proficiency, and one language of our choice. The language isn't really that important, as everyone in One Piece speaks the exact same language, but the other two parts are very helpful. Nami is basically the magic user of the Straw Hats, and as such, we'll be taking the Arcana skill as our choice. For tool proficiency, we're going to take the Cartographer's tools, something Nami should have at the start, but better late than never, right? For level 18, we'll get back on track with our sorcery levels. At this level, we get Font of Magic and Sorcery points. We start with 2 sorcery points, but we'll gain more as we level, regaining all on long rests. With these points, we gain Flexible Casting, allowing us to turn spells into sorcery points, and vice versa. We also gain a new spell. For this one, I'm choosing Silent Image because it resembles Nami's Mirage Tempo. At level 19, we gain the use of Metamagics, 2 to be exact. Our first one will be Twinned Spell, as Nami's attacks later in the series take on large crowds. To go with this, we'll choose Empowered Spell as our other choice for things such as Thunderlance Tempo, because, like I said with the glass cannon analogy, Nami hits like a freight train. For our new spell, we finally have access to level 2 spells, such as Mirror Image, which we'll be taking in order to replicate Nami's Fatana Morgana. And finally, for level 20, we're going to take one last ability score improvement, which we'll be putting into our Wisdom stat. We also get one final spell, which I have chosen as Gust of Wind, to represent Nami's Tornado Tempo. By this point, your stats should look something like this, with 16 levels in Rogue and 4 in Sorcerer. Once again, this is just my opinion, And if you have your own opinions or any suggestions on how I could get even closer to making a character look like Nami, you may put in your comments below. I would love to hear them. I would love the feedback. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video where we'll be going over the sniper of the Straw Hat Crews, Usopp, and I will explain to you why I think his race would be Tabaxi. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.